Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to Laizhizhuang Geological Park. The Laizhizhuang Geological Park is on the southeast of the Tolo Channel. So this is in the north part of Saigon. So this location has a unique rock formation during the volcanic activities about 146 million years ago. So this is so-called Haisha Low. So we are going to start from this location and hike 2.8 kilometers to the site. So in order to get here, we can start from HQST and take the bus or take the taxi and ride to here. And then we go on the hiking to the site location for the visit. So 2.8 kilometers to go. Are you ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
go. Yeah, this is a youth hotel. Very good for the travelers to stay here. After 15 minutes of hiking, we arrived at Laizhizhuang. So the site is in front of us. So only several hundred meters to go. Okay, the last few meters. Let's go. Finally, we arrived. Yeah, this is like Laizhizhuang Pier. So people can take a boat to visit this location. Today we chose to hike through the Haisha Road. So there's also a ferry actually come and go to the Laizhizhuang.
乜嘢我頭因為咧濕立立俾個頭咧混合。
All right, we arrived at the Laizhizhuang Geological Park. The park actually is in the southeast of the Tolo Channel. We can see the Laizhizhuang Pier. The rock formation is mainly starting from this location all the way to the west for about 150 meters. There's a variety of different sedimentary rocks originated from volcanic eruptions, siltstone, artificial siltstone, sandstone, mudstone, and also coarse ash, fine ash volcanic tuffs. So we can just start our trip here. At this location, you can see weathered coarse ash volcanic tuff. You can see the very variable grain size, a different size within the fine matrix. So these particles is relatively large. The mineral composition are mainly feldspar and quartz, as we expected before. Because this location is quite close to the volcanic source, therefore relatively coarse ash volcanic tuff is formed here. So because volcanic ashes are blown by the wind, so large particles will be accumulated close to the source. So that's why we have coarse ash volcanic tuff here. During the time it was weathered, you can clearly see the weathering started from the joint, and some are weathered into relatively weaker materials already, so not strong enough. So the whole second area, if you look around, we have a lot of volcanic tuffs around us, so which was formed during the volcanic period. So let's go along the site and to have a more exposure. You can see here on the ground, the weathering started from the joint already. Okay, so very nice to see the watermark here. Yeah. Here we can see the site map here. We're standing here close to the pier. We go all the way to the west part. There's 150 meters of the rock formation, which is related to the volcanic activities. So here is a very nice illustration about the formation of this type of rock. In this site, we can see tuffets, mudstone, siltstone. So they are kind of formed during the volcanic eruption period. So here is a nice illustration to see the formation. So the volcanic activities, they were intermittent during 146 million years ago. So volcanic eruption blow up a lot of volcanic ashes, rock fragments. They erupted and deposited in the lake environment. So the river water keep bringing the volcanic ashes and also silt into the lake, while there the pressures around it actually compress them into the rock. And also this location, we have a lot of folding structure, tilted or faulted by the Earth's movement. Later on I can show many examples here. So finally the whole area was exposed to the surface. So here is what we are here. So in this site we have a variety of different types of rocks. And we just saw that the coarse ash volcanic tuff. We also have fine ash volcanic tuff. We have tuffiferous siltstone, sandstone, mudstone, and also we have a rhyolite, which is directly related to the volcanic activities. So there's a lot to see at this site. So let's go forward to the west. Here we have a very nice exposure of completely weathered volcanic tuff. You can see that this is completely weathered volcanic tuff. The weathering is throughout. The rock actually is very weak, so we can easily, scrabble on without any problem. We can see that the completely weathered volcanic tuff preserves the original rock texture. You can clearly see the joint, original joint. Weathering started from the joint and come inside. So the whole rock turned into the clay-like material inside and out. But still, they preserve the original rock texture. That's how we define it as completely weathered volcanic tuff. On the top of this, you can clearly see there already becomes residual soils. Residual soil actually lost the original rock texture, so the rock texture is completely destroyed. So this is completely clayly and sandy materials as a residual soil. So clearly you can see this division of residual soil and a completely decomposed volcanic tuff. A very nice location to see this exposure. Here we can see a layered strip of the rock, which is called tuffish siltstone. It's also weathered. The rock is in between volcanic rock and a sedimentary rock because they were sedimented in the lake environment due to the volcanic origin. So when the volcanic ashes settle down in the lake, it forms layers of lighter colored layer. And also rainfall can also bring silt material from higher ground and also deposit it into some kind of a darker colored material. So this is kind of interbeddings what originally horizontal as normally the sedimentary rock. But also this is because of a volcanic origin, so we give this a name called volcanoclastic rock. This feature is quite unique in the Laizhezhuang Formation. So you can clearly see a magnificent rock formation over all this area. Yeah, they're all tuffish siltstone. Very beautiful pattern. If you look on the ground. Colorful rock layers. There's red, there's white, there's also black. So the red is due to the weathering, and this is also the stripped interbedded layer. They're all tuffish siltstone, some are tuffish sandstone, and even finer than the mudstone. Here is also the bedded tufidious siltstone, but this layer is quite special. You can come close and take a look. This layer is particularly strong. This is called certified layers. It's called the certification process. So original rock are still tufidious siltstone, but after deposition in the water is filled with silica. Silica is SiO2. The silica infiltrated into this layer and take all the pore space between the grain particles. So they virtually fill in the pore space. So if you look at this certified layer, you can still see some original layering, but it is very dense without pore space because the pore space was filled with the silica. We can pick up a rock here because you can see the rock is highly fractured with a very sharp corner, can easily cut your finger. And also it's very strong and hard. So I can strike with my hammer while this layer. So this layer is quite strong. The hardness is more than 7. So if I strike harder with my hammer, you can smell some kind of crude oil smell because of the sparkling of the arrow from my hammer. So the harder it is, the stronger the sparkle and the smells. So this is a quite magnificent formation because of a certification. Once the layer was certified, it is much stronger than the rest. We can see the differential weathering. This layer against the bottom layer. The bottom layer is weaker. It was eroded more than the stronger layer. So here you can clearly see a very beautiful formation. It was tilted in that direction, and the bottom was eroded more, and this thick layer itself is a certified tufidious siltstone layer. Yeah, from this angle you can see a lot of interbedding. The whole formation was tilted to that direction, to the south direction, by almost like a 20 degree. Come close to here, you can clearly see all these bandings. They are kind of very lightly twisted because, as I explained, they are settled in the water environment before it was completely solidified into rock. So they can be overturned or moved by the earth's movement. So you can see the kind of a flow patterns which is formed during the deposition process. This is a very nice part. You can take a closer look here. Yeah, very nice. Also, this layer seems to be a bit certified, so it's stronger than the rest. This is something remains over here. Yeah, this is another certified layer. Certified layer. Very strong. Let's go on. You can see this layer is quite special, this location. If you follow me, you can see the layer actually makes all the way and turn over and came back. So it's highly distorted. This feature locally, you see, like here we call it the folding. So the folding actually started to overturn over here. So this is because before the rock layer is fully solidified into rock, the earth movement could actually deform the rock layers and overturn into a very complex formation during a small scale like this. So you can clearly see that this location, the dipping location along this direction. If I walk over here, the dipping changes to that location. So this small scale folding is very nicely exposed in this location. Yeah, very nice. You can see the certified artificial siltstone layer dipping down in that direction. While there, it's dipping towards the ocean. So they are kind of changing the dipping direction within a short distance. Yeah, there are a lot of good rocks under the ground. You can come close to this layer. Actually, this layer appears to be finer, much finer. They're actually mudstones. The mudstone has very fine grains, so you can easily scratch it. See? Leave some marks. Like the skin of babies. Are very tender, are very smooth. Very nice mudstone layers. Come closer to this side. If you zoom in, you can see it's like a cheesecake. This actually, the quartz vein actually intruded into the cracks. You can clearly see this hard part, the whiter part, they're quartz, and the remaining part, they are siltstones. So the quartz actually intruded into it as a very small cracks to fill in very small cracks. Because the quartz is much harder and stronger, it's more resistant to weathering. So if you zoom in to take a look, you can clearly see all these areas are kind of protruded. It's three-dimensional sculpture. So I like this rock the most. This is intruded quartz veins. So let's take a look around, walk around this rock. You clearly see the quartz vein. Quite a lot of holes on that. It's like a three-dimensional natural sculpture. It's a magnificent sculpture by the nature. So this part, the hard part, is made by quartz. Okay, this beautiful Lai Zhizhong. We actually start from this east to the west part. We walked around 150 meters until to this end. So this is almost the end of this site. Along there, there's more to see about beaches, also big boulders, etc. So people are very happy hiking over there. So it's a beautiful day. I hope you enjoy the site visit. Okay, it's a nice beautiful day, but we have to go back. So let's go back to the site and to the pier. This will be a nice walking back because we can see all this rock formation again. Again, coarsish, volcanic tough, weathered. Very fine, very smooth mudstone layer. Here is a small scale folding around the coast. Look at here again to see how the rock is actually turned. Beautiful certified artificial siltstone. Differential weathering and erosion show up here. Very nice multicolored rock layers, stripped, layered, artificial siltstone layer. Let's go around the beach. The ground actually has been greened due to the growth of some biomaterials. So a lot of people here today to actually enjoy the site visit, enjoy the site view. They may not be geologists, but I can see they do enjoy the unique environment of Laizhizhuang. Here is the site for completely decomposed turf and the residual soils. You can look at the weathering here. The weathering actually turned the rock into a reddish orange color. Okay, now actually we finished the site visit. I will thank you all to come with us, and also thank my student for coming all the way with me. See you next time. Let's see, thank you all the students actually take the effort to come to the Laizhizhuang. Okay? See you next time. Bye bye.